Hi everyone, my name is Kajal Galotra and in this video we will be talking about string templates which are present in Java 22 as a second preview feature. The string template was also present in Java 21. With minor changes, the string templates are now present in Java 22 for second preview. To get more feedbacks on this, let's first understand what are the changes. So I'm having a variable by the name called name, okay, and I have a statement equals to my name is, and now I want to append the variable by the name. So I'll just say name, and this is the older way of writing the code. But now in Java 22 there is one more way of writing the same line of code. So how I'll write this new way? So I'll say maybe string statement str dot, and then whatever I want to append. Let's say my name is, I want to append my name, which is a variable. So then I'll just add a slash and then curly braces, and then I'll type my variable name. Okay, and just to show you what exactly is the difference between these two statements, so for that I'll do sout statement 1. Also I'll do sout statement. Okay, so I'll run this, and both the statement and statement 1, the output is exactly similar, so there is no changes in the output. So actually in Java 22 we have one more way of writing a string which consists of multiple variables. Okay, what exactly is the goal of doing this? Idea is to provide flexibility so that you can append variables to the string. So flexibility is there, but in more readable way. So this code is might not that much readable. If let's say if you have multiple variables that are present in a string, so I'll give you an example. I want to get a connection to my database, and I'm creating a statement, and then I'm executing my query. Whenever I'm executing my query, I want to execute insertion query, where we have insert into the table name and then what I want to insert and then values. So I'll have to take care of the single quotes, my variable part. I'm inserting this plus a lot of things that I'll have to take care. Now let's try to see if I want to write the same thing with the help of the new way. How can I write it? I can make this query like this. I'll just say string dot and then whatever I want to write. In comparison to this statement is more readable, right, and maybe more understandable to a person, right? So that's how the readability is one goal of this flexibility. And there is one more point, which is security. So for security, I have taken one example. So let's say there is a query which is select star from person P, where P dot last name is this, where this name can have anything. Now let's say the user is passing last name Smith or last name not equals to Smith. It is a kind of injection attack that can happen whenever a user is making a query, right? So the idea is to make your strings more secure, and you can put a check whenever you are getting some values from a user. If I'll just insert this value as it is here inside this name, then the query will be something like this: select star from person where P dot last name is equals to Smith or P dot last name is not equals to Smith. In that case, every data will come out. The idea is not to remove the string builder or maybe the string buffer from Java. It will be still present. Also, it's not the idea to remove this concatenator, the plus symbol. We are adding this string to add more flexibility, readability, and more security to the code. Like how internally this string is working. So in order to understand how exactly it is working, we have to understand a term which is interpolation. You are passing some variables into your string, and then later on you are replacing the values of that variables at the runtime. We have some examples of other languages. Inside my curly braces, I am passing the value of x plus y and equals to x plus y, and later on I'm replacing the values of x and y, and then this value will get replaced. For every language we have a way in which we are taking the dynamic data into our string, and later on at the runtime the data has been interpolated by the dynamic data into the string, right? So we will be doing some interpolation but with a validation. We can put a validation here. Whenever some user is inserting the last name, then in that last name there should not be this quote, right? If I can put a check, and once my check has been passed and at that time I am doing this interpolation, then it will work fine, right? That means I'm getting the data, but before interpolating the data I'm just putting an extra check. That we can do, and we can make our code more secure, right? This str is a string template processor. If I'll just click on this is a processor. This string is a string template processor. This processor is taking two things. One is R and one is this E, where R represents the return type. What exactly you want to return from here. It's not mandatory to return a string all the time. You can get anything out of your processor, and E stands for exception. So let's say you want to throw some exception, maybe a checked or unchecked exception, then you can just throw this exception. And this, if I'll talk about the string, this is just returning you a string and it is throwing this unchecked exception. But similar to this string, you can make your custom processors as well. Okay. That's one processor. This string is string template processor, and this data, my name is till here, it's a string literal, and this dynamic content is the embedded expression for which I want to embed some variable. This is the embedded expression, this is the string literal, and this string is string template processor. If you know these terms, you can make your own processor as well. And the good part is this processor can return you anything. Right now my statement is only present in one line, but let's say I want to append my last name as well with my name. So you have one more string by the name called lname, and where I'm having my last name, right? And maybe you can say where name is this, the last name is, and you can append last name, and this can also go till next line. That's how, if I'll just try to run this, now you can see this line is getting printed. So that means this line can go till n number of lines. Now the point that you have to take care of is, you cannot keep this complete name here. Whenever you want to put one variable, then you can start the braces at the first line, and then you can keep this variable onto the next line if you want to keep this line in multiple lines, right? The same thing, if you want to keep this last name into the next line, you will have, if you will try to put it here, it will just give you an exception. If you will try to go from here, it will give you the exception, compilation exception. But if you will go here, it will not give you an exception. This is not the actual multi-line code, right? But let's say I want to keep some HTML code or some JSON value. That is actually the multi-line code. For that, let's say I'll have a string HTML, and I'll just say str dot and 3 double quotes, and then inside these double quotes I can put anything, whatever I want. Say HTML and having a body, and want to keep a paragraph where this statement should be coming. This statement is a dynamic data, slash and then braces and then name. Okay, so that's how it will become my statement. And I can also print this as out HTML, and once I'll try to run code, you can see that the same thing is coming here. Now there is one more formatter by the name called FMT. This FMT is a kind of format processor where you can print any string with some formatting. Let's say I want to print one statement, so FMT will be used. and then whatever statement I want to print. So I'll say my amount is, and I want to put some formatting, and then I'll add amount to it. And if I want to just print it, so I'll say s out and whatever I want to print, and this amount should also be present, which is a variable in my case, amount equals to 100. I declared a variable by the name called amount, and then I'm printing this statement with some formatting. This percentile f will be giving total 7 spaces to this amount, and 0.2 will be giving me two digits after the decimal. If I'll try to run, this statement is now getting printed. So it is taking some space, some formatting is there, and after decimal it is giving me 2 digits. So that's how you can provide your formatting. If you really want to use this str, then you can also use raw. Then there is a process method. So this will give you the exact response like this. So if I want to return the same statement 1, like string statement 2 equals to, and I'll say raw, then I can print whatever I want to print. I'll just import this raw, which is coming from string template. I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it. But this raw is not returning you a string, but this is returning you a processor of this string template and this runtime exception. I broke down this statement 1 into 2 parts. One is this raw, and then after this process method. Now if I want to print this, I'll say str dot my new statement, and then I'll just print whatever I want to get printed. So you will able to see my new statement. This is the statement that is getting printed. This str dot whatever I want to call is exactly similar to this raw, and then calling this process method. Okay, so I think that is it for this video. If you really want to see how we can create the custom processor on our own, then just comment down in the chat box, and I'll post a video where I'll be telling you how you can create the custom processors by yourself. Thank you.